Hey, what's up and welcome back, treasure hunters. Today I got a bunch of new finds that I got out of the thrift stores the past couple weeks. Pretty good variety too, and I think I can make a lot of profit off of some of these finds. So let's take a look at what I found. So in the past week or two, I spent a good portion of the budget that I had left out of my $10 thrift store challenge and got a whole bunch of new stuff, and it's a pretty good variety. I'm not going to show you the updated sheet. I'll try to do that like once a month, I figure, but I do want to show you all these different treasures because I can't save up a month's worth and make one video because it would get too long. So let's take a look at what I found so far. So the first thing I found here is a piece of studio pottery. When I first saw this, I thought that it was just like the top was metal or something, and it was just kind of like something you get at Marshall's or TJ Maxx or Home Goods or something. But I picked it up and it's actually all pottery, which is pretty crazy, especially like the back of this. You can see it's really, really, really nicely made. I don't know who the artist is yet because the bottom is so small. It's really hard to read the signature here, but it's got a really nice like green glaze with some crackling in it and nice shadowing and stuff. So really cool find here. I don't really know how much I could sell it for yet, but I would imagine at least $50 just given the craftsmanship on it. But I got it for $3.33. Next piece here is a painting on board. Just kind of like a nice seascape here with a sailboat on the back. It does say St. Thomas original acrylic, and it says the St. Thomas Harbor in the Virgin Islands, 1974. It is signed in the corner here, Deckert. I didn't really find any Deckerts with the same signature, and I'm thinking this is probably like a vintage piece done by maybe somebody that lives in the Virgin Islands or something. It's kind of like a touristy type piece or whatever, but it is older and it's kind of brightly colored. It was only $5, so I know I could probably, at least get 50 for it, just given the age. And a lot of people like this kind of art for, beach homes and that sort of thing. So it's not too bad of a find here for $5. Next piece here is a small watercolor painting, little landscape. Looks like some sort of marsh or something with some herons or storks or whatever, some birds flying, sun setting and everything else. This one is signed. I think it says Bron Riddell or Riddle. I don't know. It's a little bit hard to tell. It is signed on the painting and it's signed on the back. It's dated 1998, and I didn't find anything on this artist either, but this would be super easy to ship. It's small, obviously, and it's pretty nicely done. Would be a good piece, like a gift piece, I guess, because I could probably sell this for around $50, and it only cost me $5.11, so not a bad find here. Picked this up for $2.11, and this is a painting on batik, or it's like, silk type cloth, just of these flowers. And this is signed K. Cass, and that actually is Karen Cass, which there's a little thing on the back. And it's just a certificate of authenticity, just saying it's an original piece and all of that. So this is only $2. I did see some of her work selling on eBay between $50 and $100. This is a smaller piece, but again, super easy to ship, and it was only $2. So I think I could definitely make a decent profit off of that. Next piece I also got for $5.11, and I've actually sold probably 3 or 4 pieces by this artist, Ed Gifford, and he did intaglio, a lot of prints, hand-pulled prints like this, etchings, and This is signed Ed Gifford, 10 out of 50, and it's called One Room Schoolhouse. The pieces that I've sold have been around between $60 and like around $90, I think. I picked this up for $5. The pieces that I did sell before, though, were pretty small. This is a little bit bigger, and it's got his little stamp that is on the back here. And the reason why I find so many is because he is from Akron, Ohio, so I tend to come across these every once in a while, and they sell pretty well, and they're usually pretty cheap. So this piece here is an original watercolor painting, really well done. But this piece was done by an Ohio artist named Dorothy McNamara Maloney. And I did a quick search on her. I found a bunch of information about her, that she was, award-winning watercolor artist and all that, but I could not find any pieces of hers for sale, which tends to happen when you're dealing with more of a local artist. You may find a lot of information on that artist, especially in the newspapers and that sort of thing, but not many things in like auction results that you can actually see the price. Given the size and how well this is done, though, I have sold local artists paintings that are really well done like this. I sold one for like $350. I've sold other ones that were around $200. So I'll probably price this around $200. I paid $11.11 for it, and the painting itself is in good condition. I'd probably reframe it if I was going to hang it up, but that's up to the buyer. So I found this piece at a Goodwill for $5.11, and this is a vintage. It was done in 1959, so obviously vintage aerial photo of the Standard Oil Company. It says Refinery Number 2. For anybody that either worked in industry or for an oil company back in the day, or anybody that good office piece or anything like that. But it's a really cool photo. It's got all the information down in this little thing here. These kind of photos can be difficult to come by, and this is obviously an older photo, so like original photo. So I think I'll probably price it around a couple $100 and see if it sells, and if not, I have no problem with dropping the price down. But this is a really cool. I love old photos like this. So I got this piece also for $5.11 at a Goodwill, and it's got 2 whooping cranes. And this is a limited edition lithograph done by Ronald Loke. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name. It's Louque. I did do a quick search because his signature is fairly easy to read, and this is an edition out of 1,000. So it was a little bit bigger, but I could tell it was older, and I think it is dated anyway. Yeah, 1979. He was a very well-known wildlife, like a realist wildlife artist. So I did find a bunch of his listings, and they were all, depending on the size and condition of them, they were all in the $200 to $500 range, I would say. This one's not in the best condition. There's a little bit of, looks like moisture damage. It's like just rippling. It's not like it got wet, but it was probably damp and just dried funny. So it's not in perfect condition, but for $5, I could definitely make a profit off this, even if I have to sell it for something like $100. But I'll probably price it more around $200 to start and see if I can get a buyer. So here's the next piece, and this is done on board. And it was just when I first saw this, it's just a very eye-catching, striking piece. I don't know if this is more of an amateur painting or if it was actually done by a more well-known artist. It's got a kind of street art feel to it. I don't know, it just says a lot too, like having the kid kind of peek through the door like this. It's like, what is he afraid of or looking for? So I just thought it was pretty cool. It is signed, either says like J.A. or J.O. or something down here, and dated 72. So it's older, and it just, without a name, and it is kind of cut off, the initials are cut off by this wood frame here. So I don't know. I'll probably have to post this to a group. I haven't been too successful lately with getting any help in the art identification groups on Facebook. So hopefully somebody will be able to help me out. If not, I'll keep searching, but I'll probably post this around a couple $100 just given the age, and it is pretty unique, and see if I can get any buyers on that. But if not, I can always drop it down. But I did pick this up at a Goodwill for $6.99. So the next two pieces I actually got at a garage sale. Well, two different garage sales. Where my aunt lives, her whole neighborhood was having, they have a garage sale every year. And I always end up going because there's a lot of older homes and older people still live there. So there's some cool stuff to find. I picked this one up. It was priced at $15 and I offered $10 and they took it. I thought this was an original watercolor. It's actually a giclée print, but it's done really, really well. I thought I could even see pencil marks, but even those are included kind of in the print itself. But it's framed really nicely in a heavy wood frame. There's a gallery card on the back from New York. And this piece is hand signed. I didn't see a number on it. But it's hand signed in pencil, so it's super hard to see if you don't have it at the right angle for the light to reflect. But this was done by Michael Ringer, and I guess he does a lot of work, like outdoorsy kind of work like this. And this one was titled Bow Hunter. He did have this available. I don't think he has any more of them, but there was a page on his website. When I searched this photo, he was selling these prints for $150. I'll probably price this around that, seeing that it already is really nicely framed and everything. But it was a unexpected find at a garage sale. Here's my next garage sale find, and I got this because it was only $2. And it's in a very old, it still is super dirty, very old wooden frame, and it is done on board. The back is also super old looking. You'll see this sometimes on older pieces, like these pieces of wood. Now I looked at this, I took these pieces of wood off, super dusty, and I wiped everything off to see if there was some kind of signature information on the back. Didn't see any. I don't really see any signatures on the front either. So I'm gonna say this is probably unsigned, except I did see there might be a signature on the back of the frame, but I have to kind of clean it up to see if it's actually a signature, if it's, just the oldness of the grain or something. But it's not in the best condition, but it is old, obviously, like I've said. So for $2, I'll definitely always take a shot on something like this, that it might be done by a more known artist. I doubt this piece is, but either way, it's pretty cool. It's got, that antique feel to it. And I think even if I can't find the artist, I should be able to sell it for some sort of profit. I only got a couple more things to show you, and these are a couple things that aren't art and prints and all of that. This I got for $6.11. It is a very heavy, very large professional tripod for a camera. It's vintage, and it is Bojan. It was made in Italy. You can see here, it's got, it's super hefty. I think this is the 30-pound model or something. I did a quick, when I saw this, I noticed it's definitely looks a lot different than the cheaper tripods that you can find at like Walmart and stuff. So I did a quick search just on the brand Bojan, and there's all different kinds of tripods, but they are professional tripods. And if anybody is familiar with camera and camera equipment and all that, it can get very expensive. So for $6, this was a steal, and it still looks like in working condition. There aren't any missing pieces as far as I can tell. So I could probably sell this even on, I might try buy, sell, trade first, so I don't have to ship it. I'll probably price this in the $100 to $150 range. I've seen listings as high as like $2.99 or higher for this type of tripod. So I'll probably post it around there, and on buy sell trade, you know, I'd even take something like $75 or something for it. So here's my last find. Got this at Goodwill for only $6.11. And you can see the size here. Very large. This is actually solid walnut. It says it on the bottom. It's from a local department store that hasn't been open for a long time. Holzheimer's, I think how you say it. That's in Cleveland, and all the information is on the bottom. I do find they were like an interior store, interior decorating, furniture, like some high-end stuff. It was all like interior design kind of thing. And I do find stuff from them, whether it be chairs or tables or lamps, every once in a while. This is really cool. It's a carved wood. And what caught my eye initially, as with any lamps, are, you know, I always check out when I see sockets like these, especially with these pull chains, the dual socket, and, you know, just looking really old like that. I always take a closer look at the piece. The cord also is a good indicator of age. Now, if something has a newer cord, it doesn't mean necessarily that it's newer. It could have been rewired. But if something has old sockets and an old cord like this, then no one's going to rewire it to put an old, you know, piece like this back on. So I don't exactly know how old this is, but I would put it kind of near the antique area, about like 100 years old. But it could be a little bit, it could be in the 50s or 60s for all I know. I did test it. Only one of the sides works. The other socket, it's not clicking when I pull it. So that isn't a huge deal. A lot of times people will buy these and rewire them anyway, just to be safe. But for $6, this was a really good find. I didn't find any exactly like this online, but I did find solid walnut, like table lamps, selling, you know, anywhere from $300 to over $1,000. So for $6, really good find here. And I'll probably price it somewhere around $500, seeing that one of the sockets isn't working, and see if I can sell it. If not, I'll drop it down. I've actually sold a couple lamps in the last month and made some really nice profit off of those. So hopefully I can do the same with this. Well, that about wraps it up. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate all of you. Hope you liked my treasures I found. If you did enjoy the video, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Feel free to ask any questions down below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I've got some other videos planned for this week, so stay tuned for those. And get out to those garage sales and thrift stores. They're getting full of spring cleaning items, and I'm sure there's tons of treasures out there for you to find.